Cori Bush, there's no surprise here that Cori Bush, if you want to call her a racist, I think you're fully within your right to. If you want to call Cori Bush a racist, you can. And here's the reason why. Here is a reason why, in my opinion. We had testimony in the House. And so Cori Bush is unprepared. She's not prepared because all she knows is what people tell her, in my opinion, to say. She's the perfect black woman Democrat. What do we want you to think? You think it. So in this hearing, Alex Epstein agreed to testify about the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And what he didn't expect to get when he got to there is someone accusing him of being a white supremacist.
But my Republican colleagues have unironically invited for-profit think tank and oil titans whose expertise is in maximizing profits, especially at the expense of our black, our brown, and our indigenous neighbors' health, safety, and well-being. One of these so-called energy experts is a philosopher who has previously espoused white supremacist views. For instance, in his 2000 college newspaper, he wrote, quote, "The African and American Studies Department has 23 classes. In many of these classes, African culture is presented not as inferior to Western culture, but as on equal footing with it. In other departments, the same is done with Latin American, Indian, and American Indian culture," end quote. When confronted about these views over 2 decades later, rather than disavow them, he doubled down on this narrative saying, quote, "It has nothing to do with skin color. I was arguing that those cultures overall are inferior to Western culture." We are not inferior to any culture, speaking as a descendant of one of those cultures. This is the witness the Republicans are speaking as a descendant of one of those cultures. We are not inferior to any culture. Speaking as a descendant of one of those cultures. This is the witness the Republicans invited to discuss issues of energy security. He came here to promote fossil fuels, which we know are disproportionately harming and killing black and brown people.
No, we don't.
I recognize Alex Epstein to please begin his opening statement. And because you were directly mentioned as a chairman's discretion, I want to give you an additional minute if you'd like to address the allegations levied on you against the ranking member.
Yeah, it'd be great if they put up the cards again. So thanks for giving me a minute to address truly despicable and false attack on me, claiming that anything I've ever said is white supremacist and then trying to imply that that somehow applies today. So I don't know if you want to put those cards back up, but what I argued and what I've argued for my entire adult life is that Western culture is superior in the sense that it promotes individualism and freedom. And I have fought my entire life for freedom around the world, including in Africa, including in Asia, including in India. And I want everyone around the world to have the same opportunities that I do in the United States. There are different places around the world that are in many ways inferior. They have female genital mutilation. They have slavery. These are not as good as not mutilating females' genitals and not enslaving people. And so I make no apology. And the idea that this is associated with skin color is despicable and racist. Skin color has nothing to do with ideas. Where you came from geographically is irrelevant. What's relevant is what's true. So you can ask more about that, but that was an insane diversion from the truth.
And Mr. Epstein, just a little off topic, but Western culture that you mentioned could exist in countries, let's say in Japan.
Well, yeah, and it has proliferated to the great benefit of all. And it's not really about the location. It's about individualism and freedom and reason. So it's certain values that are universal human values. The idea that freedom and reason and individualism only apply to people of certain skin colors, that is the actual original racist idea versus no. Whatever your skin color is, these ideas are true and good for human flourishing.
Preach. Man, what a great response. It's so easy for me at times to come up here and criticize this person doing this speech or that speech, and you're up in front of Congress and someone basically calls you a white supremacist. on the fly. You didn't know it was going to happen. But you do have to be prepared, Cori Bush and all them. That's all they do. It's supposed to be about the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. All of a sudden, white supremacy is a topic. That's because your dumbass isn't prepared. That's why. I'm talking about you, Cori Bush. That's why when I talk about this stuff, I say you all are the racists. I'm clear about this. I don't care about your black ass. We aren't on the same team just because you're dark-skinned like me. Obviously not. I don't care if you're a black woman or a black man. Give a damn about your blackness. We're not on the same side. Your dumbass is talking about white supremacy when we're talking about the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Effing clown. And to be in a tough position like that and on the fly, you could tell he kind of felt some kind of way, wouldn't you?